Hey everyone, Duke here, and today we are going to talk about Xur's random rolls for the weekend of September 10th. Firstly, for the important information of where is Xur, he is on the EDZ in the Winding Cove. For exotics this week, Xur is selling the Monte Carlo, Liar's Handshake, Helm of Saint 14, and Claws of Ahamkara. As always, if there are any exotics or characters you play, or even plan to play into the future, I would highly recommend buying them. And in terms of rolls, the Saint 14 roll here is pretty decent. It has high resilience with decent intellect and decent recovery as well, which for Titans is going to be pretty nice. And the Claws of Ahamkara are also pretty good with 20 recovery and 15 strength, especially with gaining an additional melee charge being the perk of the Claws. Giving you more strength is something you're going to want with a exotic built around melees. Also, I didn't mention this last week, but don't forget about the exotic Engrams that Xur sells. This does cost 97 legendary shards, which for some players is going to be quite expensive, but this exotic will give you an exotic you do not have from the list of exotics it shows in the actual exotic Engram. If you preview it, you can see both the weapons and armor for your character that you can potentially get. There are some of the newer exotics from Lost Sectors that are not a part of this, so you won't be able to get those, but if you're missing any of these more older exotics, you will be able to get those. Also, even if you have every exotic, you can still buy this and get a roll on an exotic you already have. Here I got Ophidian Aspects with a 62 roll, nothing too great there, but it could potentially give you a good roll of an exotic you're looking for. Now for the legendary weapons that Xur now sells. We've got 7th Seraph Carbine with auto-loading holster and rangefinder, 7th Seraph Officer's Revolver with pulse monitor and feeding frenzy, The Last Dance with threat detector and rangefinder, Timeline's Vertex with Firmly Planted and Demolitionist, Long Shadow with Hipfire Grip and Rampage, Honor's Edge with Balance Guard, Tireless Blade, and Shattering Blade, and finally we have the Frozen Orbit with Surplus and Box Breathing. None of these rolls are looking super exciting. I feel like the Carbine with auto-loading rangefinder might not be too bad. The rest are pretty meh. Maybe the Last Dance here isn't too bad either. The one interesting thing, though, is that he's selling the Frozen Orbit, which normally is a Crucible-only drop, and the chance to potentially roll it at Xur now, randomly every week, is really interesting. That means that we could see some very different weapons potentially being sold from Xur on a week-to-week basis. Now for the legendary armor, starting with Warlocks, we've got Gloves with a 62 roll and 20 discipline, a chest armor with 16 resilience, 13 recovery, and 17 discipline. Nice little splattering of stats there, and a 60 total stat roll. The class item, which doesn't have rolls. A really nice looking helmet here with 27 discipline and 20 resilience. If you're looking to combine those two stats, as well as 63 total here, if you're looking to combine those two stats, really nice helmet, especially 27 discipline. That is really, really high. Highly recommend this one. And finally, we've got leg armor with a 62 total stats and 24 strength. So, especially maybe even if you're going to combine this with the Claws of Ahamkara, going for those melee charges, trying to play on your melees, 24 strength, that's pretty good. Next for Titans, we've got Gauntlets with 13 resilience, 10 recovery, 11 discipline, and 19 strength with 63 total stats. Again, quite a few stats here. No real spiky stats, but if you're looking to prioritize just having a lot of different stats, this could be a pretty solid armor piece. We've got a chest piece that is just not very good, 47 total with no real stats here. Class item, helmet that is also kind of low, 54 total, 15 recovery, 14 discipline. Decent little distribution of recovery and discipline, but just not very high. And also the boot's not looking too great either. So Titans got a decent gauntlets. The rest of these are pretty low rolls, so not a lot there other than the gauntlets. And finally for Hunters, we've got Gauntlets with a really nice 65 total stat roll, and again, quite a few different stats with 12 mobility, 13 resilience, 12 discipline, 13 intellect. We've just got a little bit of everything for this one. Chest armor with 63 total, with 14 mobility, 16 recovery, 14 discipline, and 15 intellect. Some really nice stats there, and if you're looking for just a lot of 15 type rolls, pretty consistent rolls right there. Another class item, a helmet with 13 resilience, 14 intellect, and 13 strength, a little bit lower on this one. And a leg armor with 63 total stats and 10 mobility, 15 resilience, 10 discipline, and 13 intellect. We don't really have any spiky stats here on the Hunter like we did with the Warlock earlier, but we have multiple pieces with some pretty high total stat rolls, and if you're just looking to get quite a few stats across the board, definitely some good armor pieces this week for that. And that's all we've got from Xur this week. As always, I hope these videos help you out, and I appreciate the support on the channel so much when you guys continue to watch these videos and let me know what you think. And as always, have a wonderful day.